Invincible had an absolutely explosive ending filled with action, suspense, and full-on trauma. With the second and third season on the way at Amazon, we can expect many more moments to come that will leave us lying alone on our beds in the fetal position, rocking back and forth while looking at an indiscriminate spot in the room and never wanting to call our dads again. But what moments can we expect to see in Season 2 exactly? And what did the Season 1 finale set up? Oh, and a spoiler warning, there will be multiple Season 1 spoilers and references to the comic book storylines. Let's take a look at the animated series. Season 2 will more than likely focus on the aftermath of the chaotic and disastrous battle between Mark and his father, Omni-Man. After the bloodshed and numerous deaths, humanity will more than likely have a paranoia and distrust when it comes to Viltrumites, potentially including Mark. And there will be a fear of a coming Viltrumite invasion to finish the mission Omni-Man started. Omni-Man himself will have an interesting arc, as his failure to complete his mission to conquer Earth will make him a wanted man amongst his fellow Viltrumites. And it will be interesting to see what Omni-Man's next steps are. But back on Earth, the humans and Mark will be preparing for another grand battle with the Viltrumites. Thankfully though, they are not alone, with Alan the alien telling Mark that the coalition of planets is trying to assemble an army that can take on the tyrannical race, and Mark is crucial to their success as the only Viltrumite currently on their side. Also, the ramifications of Mark's fight with his father on a personal level will also take a toll on his family life, and his mother's emotional struggle will likely be another focus for Season 2. Either way, the fallout of Mark and Omni-Man's battle will be in the spotlight. That's because Cecil Steadman in the GDA's response to Omni-Man was laid out clearly in the finale, with the creation of the Cyborg Army with the help of Ezra Miller's D.A. Sinclair. Cecil had previously labeled Sinclair a monster, but as he watches Sinclair in amongst the cyborgs, he flashes a smile, suggesting that Cecil might not be the heroic figure we once took him for. Seeing as Cecil had already bragged about how good a liar he is, should it be surprising that he might have some darker plans? Cecil might be creating this army to stave off a Viltrumite invasion, but it wouldn't be surprising if he had ulterior motives, and he could ultimately be the villain for next season. It wouldn't be surprising to learn that Cecil was manipulating other characters and us the whole time. If the show has taught us anything, it's to trust no one. Seeing as Mark finds the creation of the cyborgs as morally reprehensible, he may quickly lose faith with the GDA and find himself going up against them at some point in Season 2. Cecil isn't the only master manipulator in the show, as petty criminal Titan managed to manipulate Mark so he would help him take out Machine Head and take over his criminal empire. And he did all this with the pretense that he was doing it to help his neighborhood. Mahershala Ali's Titan is seemingly a very ambitious and power-grabbing person, and it is unlikely that he will just settle and will likely look to expand his criminal empire even further. Seeing as he personally screwed over Mark and caused serious injuries to both Black Samson and Monster Girl, we could see Mark wanting to exact revenge on the newly crowned crime lord. A character who was introduced in the battle between Mark and Machine Head was the Battle Beast, and oh man, was the Battle Beast the most fitting name for him or what? Seriously, that guy was insane and terrifying. The Battle Beast proved himself not only to be a tough cookie, but a being with Omni-Man level power who was seeking to find someone on equal footing. Despite being one of Invincible creator Robert Kirkman's favorite characters in the comic, the Battle Beast has a relatively short arc. But seeing as he is both a Kirkman and fan favorite, Kirkman says to expect more of the Battle Beast in the second season. His appearance was all but confirmed in a brief shot of the killer cat at the end of the finale. With the amount of already existing villains and potential villains yet to be included, Mark already has his hands full for the next few seasons. Thankfully for him, he also has a number of friends and people who will be there to help him, such as the Guardians. While the Guardians have been somewhat all over the place in Season 1 and not much of a team, the Guardians in Season 2 promise to be a more cohesive unit, one that will hopefully live up to their forebears. This was signified in the moment they finally decided to wash off the blood stain at their headquarters. With Adam Eve back in the game and having the new Guardians finally getting their act together, their timing couldn't be much better as Mark is going to be counting on them moving forward. Another potential ally for Mark might come in the form of the man with a very long history, Immortal. Now, Immortal might have died more times than Mark and Amber have broken up, but the GDA will be seeking to bring Immortal back to life once again after his second death at the hands of Omni-Man. If/when Immortal will be brought back into the fold is unclear, but his third life was very much teased at the end of Season 2. Immortal may have died quite a few times, but when it comes to ending up in jail, the Mauler Twins have the numbers locked down. Although they were busted out of prison by Robot in Season 1 in order to gain himself a new body, the Maulers found themselves behind bars once again during the finale, with them entering separate cells during a montage. The Maulers might be in jail once again, but something tells me they won't be there for very long, especially due to the potential inclusion of another character we will be discussing later on in this video. It's very likely that Mark will have to contend with Titan, Battle Beast, Cecil and his cyborg army, the Maulers, Viltrumite, other villains yet to be introduced, and of course, his father Omni-Man once again, but there could be another villain on his list to take care of. Doc Seismic. One of the funniest and zaniest villains in the Invincible catalog, Doc Seismic was defeated by Aiden M in the third episode of the season, but he seems to be far from done in the show. Seismic has seemingly survived his fall into the core of the Earth and has seemingly collected a crew of lava-based goons who will be following him to the surface. Seismic will more than likely have some unfinished business with Aiden M that he would like to take care of, and with a mini army, he will likely cause both Aiden M and Mark a lot of trouble in the upcoming season. Like Doc Seismic, the Sequids will likely be making their return on Mars. Mark encountered the Sequids on Mars before accidentally releasing their fury on the Martians after losing one of the human astronauts. On their own, the Sequids aren't much of a threat, but when they attach themselves to a host, they become pretty darn dangerous, and the parasites form a hive-like mind that make them a collective menace. It was revealed that the Sequids had overrun Mars and therefore will continue to play a part in Season 2, but it was also revealed that a Martian had impersonated an astronaut in order to make his way to Earth. Could he have accidentally brought a Sequid with him and therefore unwittingly released them on the human populace? Or will he and Mark team up to bring the Sequid infestation to an end on Mars? Another threat, on top of like hundreds, are the Flaxans, who proved Mark's first real test in Invincible. The Flaxans tried to invade Earth early on in the show, and although they caused Mark some real problems, they were dispatched pretty easily by Omni-Man. But the Flaxans weren't killed off once and for all, and it was revealed that they were still out there, seeking to take over Earth again and get their revenge on Omni-Man. I mean, join the line, am I right?
You may have noticed that I'm not like normal dads.
And finally, another villain that could be added to the mix is Angstrom Levy. In the comics, Levy hires the Mauler Twins to help him in his scheme, and with the Maulers behind bars waiting to be released, this could be where the show is going. How exciting is that?